welcome back to Box Delights. Today I'm going to be showing you a game that I've been very excited about and wanting to show you for a long time. It's called the Apex Therapod deck building game. Designed, developed and artwork by Herschel Hoffmeyer. It was funded on a Kickstarter, published under the title of Die Hard Games, and what I'm going to show you today is a demo copy. This is the preview, pre-production. You can pre-order now. Absolutely, go and pre-order. I'll leave you a link to the website. It's due for release end of November. What I want to do today is show you how this game plays, what it's all about. Our aim is to evolve these apex predators, these theropods, these dinosaurs, from eggs through hatchlings, juveniles, and ultimately to these apex predators. In doing so, you're going to be earning victory points playing multiplayer by hunting prey from what they call the game trail. I'm going to talk you through setup and what all this means in a moment. There's, I think, 9 different apex predators that you can play. This one here is called Carnotaurus sastri. I think you'll agree he's a pretty mean looking guy. And multiplayer, 2 to 8 players, you're going to be chasing after victory points by taking down this prey. This one here, this Titan for example, which is found in Australia, is worth 3 victory points, this little number below the 7. The other way to win is to, this environment that we're competing in already has apex predators. There's lots of different prey animals and other predators, but there's an apex predator. Playing multiplayer, you have more than one apex predator. Whichever player takes down the most bosses of these apex predators, they're going to win, but chances are that most of your multiplayer games are going to end with a victory point count. Because these bosses are tough to take down. We have a solo variant, and that's what I'm going to show you today. And with that solo variant, your aim is to take down that boss, apex predator, so that you become the apex predator in this environment. It is a deck builder. There's no end to their popularity, and this one is a good one. And it's a little bit more like your traditional deck builder, where the way to succeed is to make your deck more efficient. You have a starting deck which contains these early forms of your predator. But like the proverbial chicken, you've only got one egg here. If you want to hatch more, if you want to hatch some of these bigger dinosaurs that you're going to develop, then you're going to have to get some more eggs. More eggs means you're going to be hatching more animals. These are your dinosaurs that are going to go in your hatchery. And give those a good shuffle. These are the evolution cards. These are the things that you can buy to evolve your dinosaur. And you buy them by consuming food. You've got some food in your starting deck. You've got some carcasses. Okay, you've got some small carcasses, and you've got the carcass of a large Titan. These are going to give you 1 point of evolve, and these 3 points of evolve. And with those evolve points, you can buy these cards here. This one costs 4, this one 2, this one 3. And those are going to give you actions, abilities to make your deck more efficient. And once you're running an efficient deck and you're hatching these guys, these predators in turn give you hunt points, these numbers here. And with those hunt points, you can go and hunt bigger prey in the game trail up here. And until you become an efficient hunter, you're just scavenging for these carcasses. That's the only way you can get the food you need to evolve to allow you to then hatch and develop. But be wary, because up here in the game trail there are other predators lurking. For the setup with 1 to 8 players, you're each going to have different decks, representing different versions of this apex predator. So the first thing you do is construct and shuffle this apex deck. And this is the thing you're going to be hatching new dinosaurs from. You've also got your starting deck, and that's what's going to get you up and running. Then your hunt deck will be playing solitaire, 1 boss and his minions. I think it's 4 minions for each boss. They're the guys who do the work for that boss. Your aim is to take down that boss, defeat that boss using your hunt points. And there's lots of these predators, so you can really mix up the game. We have the, like the Tyrannosaurus, the Gigantosaurus, the menacing Velociraptors, and the largest croc to ever exist, the Sarcosuchus. And the artwork that Herschel's put in this is absolutely fantastic. This is no cuddly comic strip. These dinosaurs are the kind that rip your throat out and give you nightmares. There are a number of other cards. These are like your wounds. They're what we call afflictions. So when you're taking on those dinosaurs in the game trail, you can get injured. You've got flesh wounds, severe trauma, or you could even catch a virus that's going to mess about with your evolution. We also have an environment deck, and the first thing we do to get play up and running is to reveal the top card of the environment deck. When we set this up, the first top 3 cards are all emergence. Okay, so things are going to start off with just these events. On the bottom, the penultimate card is always the asteroid impact, and then the final card is extinction. And this deck is going to work like a timer. In between is a set of random environment effects. Okay, so for the first 3 rounds, emergence. We start by drawing 6 cards, and we're ready to begin. Anticipate weather and predator attacks ahead of time to use them to your advantage. Paying close attention to your environment may give you an edge over your competition. All players hatch 1 card and draw 1 card. And this is pretty good because we start with a few nests already out there in the environment. So to hatch 1 card, we take the top card from the Apex deck and we place it here in the hatchery, and then we draw 1 card. Excellent. Okay, so we've got some eggs. The first things we do on our turn is to repopulate these pools here, the game trail and the evolve pool. Now, as it goes, we populate these during setup. Any effects that any of these cards have when they come into play are ignored during setup, but you would normally be looking at those. But next turn. Okay. Then the next thing you would do is look at your hand. If you had any alert cards, this is these up here. These are alert cards. Then you have to play it. An alert card is something that you're going to pick up during the course of the game that's going to alert the prey in the game trail to your presence. So they're bad things to pick up. Next thing we can do on our turn is set up an ambush for a later turn. So before we start playing cards, if we have any Apex cards, like these hatchlings, these are classified as Apex cards, you can see it's written here, then we can place 1, 2 or 3 of these cards in what's called an ambush. So we place the ambush like so. But this ambush is kind of like a little store, putting some cards that you're not willing to play this turn to one side for a later turn. Because at the end of your turn, anything you've got left in your hand is going to be discarded. You're going to draw a new hand. So this is a nice little mechanism that this deck builder employs, setting up this ambush to save some of your good cards that you just can't play right now on this turn. Okay. So once you've made a decision about whether you want to set up an ambush or not, then you can start spending the cards in your hand. Take a look in the game trail at this point, because if the boss is there, then you might initiate a boss fight. He's not there, so we're gonna look past that. The first thing you do when you're playing cards is play any evolve cards. So here we have an egg that we can hatch. So let's play this to the table, and then hatch 1 more card. And this time we've got the Marauder. He's a little bit cheaper than the Skull Crusher. This one's going to cost us 4 evolve, this one's going to cost us 3 evolve. Next we have to play all the hunt value cards in our hand. The ones that we haven't set aside for an ambush, of course. Any hunt points that we've not spent are just going to go unspent. But we play the cards 1 by 1 and then keep a running total and then spend that amount. You don't get change from a combination of cards. So if we had one that was a 4 and then a 4, and we wanted to buy a card that cost 5, we'd have to pay the whole 8. We couldn't spend the 3 remainder on something else. Okay. But here you can see I've got 3. Our hunt values here, this 1, 1, 1 on each of these hatchlings. And what we're looking to do is hunt cards from the game trail. So I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 and hunt this Anhanguera. Now you can see that this card is what's termed a menace. It's written here. It's worth 2 victory points if I was playing multiplayer. It's kind of irrelevant here. But menaces, the rewards aren't so high for hunting these guys. Not as high as hunting prey or big game or the titans. Because these are a little small, kind of menacing, just nuisance creatures really. They'll do stuff like raid your nests and stuff. So take them out just to stop them being a nuisance. But here we go, we've taken him out, we've hunted him down, and then it's placed in our hoard. Okay, this is called a hoard, this section here. It doesn't do anything yet. It doesn't do anything until we consume it. Once we've consumed it, then it will go face down in what's called our den. Okay, so this is now available to us as food that we can consume to generate evolve points. And now we get to the point where we can start to spend our evolve and either purchase cards here or from our hatchery. Okay, and we can use a combination of cards from our hand and cards from our hoard. So if we want to consume this one, it will give us 1 evolve point. We've got 3 in our hand, that gives us a total of 4. And the important point here is that these things in our hoard we don't have to spend. Okay, they can stay there, we can hoard them. Alright, so only the stuff in your hand. If I want to buy something that costs 3, I can leave that there for a later turn. So what are these cards in the evolve pool going to do for us? Well, we know what eggs do. They allow us to hatch from our apex deck into our hatchery. Metabolic growth. This is like a physiological type evolution. It says you may gain 1 of your hatchlings from the elimination pile. These are cards that we've eliminated from the game. Added to our hand, and all hatchlings played this turn gain 1 hunt value. This one over here, dynamic vitality. This one's more, I guess this is more of a neurological evolution. It says I may draw a card. Eliminate all affliction cards from your hand. You may draw an additional card for each affliction card eliminated. Remember, afflictions are like wounds that we pick up. Right, so maybe this is more of a physical evolution. Well, that's a useful card to have because it allows us to get rid of those wounds. But what I'd quite like to do, I think, is get one of these guys. This one's got +2 hunt when played from the ambush point. So this is a good ambush card. It gives me 3 hunt. I might actually take this one, this Marauder. He's pretty neat. This goes in our discard pile. And I'm going to use these 3 prey carcasses to pay for it. And now we've kind of reached the end of our turn. We've played all our cards. These go in a discard pile. We'll draw a hand of 6 cards back up. And there's only 5 in there. So we'll give these a shuffle. And draw 1 more. That takes us back up to our hand of 6. And now we've got to reset the board for the next round. And we do this by recycling some cards. Recycling means is taking it and placing it back on the bottom of the deck it came from. So the first thing we recycle is these unhatched eggs. Alright, they've gone rotten, they didn't hatch. We recycle it, we put it back on the bottom of the deck. So potentially it's going to come up later in the game. Additionally, we recycle these 2 cards. Alright, these are called footprints. Footprint 1, 2, 3. These are called slots. Slots 1, 2, 3. So footprint 3 and slot 3, they both get recycled because they weren't taken. Okay, if these were taken, it would just move back leftwards like this. So whichever is the furthest to the right gets recycled. So we take this one. We've lost the chance to buy it for now. And this one. Then everything slides down the game trail and the evolve pool, and we're ready to begin the next turn.